we have Scooby-Doo. We have the Star Wars.
Yep.
Darth Vader has his candy cane striped lightsaber. We had to create that one because the original version got stolen.
Really? The
just disappeared
lightsaber?
off a lawn. The 6 foot, the 6 foot
Darth
tall
Vader?
Darth Vader decorated plywood
Wow.
just disappeared off the lawn.
Wow.
It's like, wow.
Coming to you straight from Fremont, California, this is the Fremont Podcast, dedicated to telling the stories of the past and present of the people and places of the city of Fremont, one conversation at a time.
Hello, Fremont. This is Chris, and I'm in Centerville. You're listening to episode 52 of the Fremont Podcast. Make it funky.
Now, here's your host, Ricky B.
So we're back. I'm back in the basement of Devout where my office is. And I'm with Kate Amon. So Kate Amon is the president of Crippsmas Place. Would that be?
The event is Crippsmas Place.
Okay.
The 501c3 nonprofit is the Crippsmas Club, but that's just a technicality.
The Crippsmas Club. So don't get that wrong. That's not Christmas Club. That's the Cripps.
Cripps, because it started on Cripps Place.
Cripps Place. Okay.
Back in the 1960s. It was founded by a neighbor, Robert Spider Cantley, who lived at the end of Cripps Place.
Okay, so where is Cripps Place?
Cripps
in Fremont?
Place is in North Fremont. It is a cul-de-sac off of Nicollet Avenue.
Okay, so
not far from the Brookvale Shopping Center.
So Nicollet Avenue is just a little bit north of American High School off of Fremont Boulevard.
Exactly.
So he made the decorations, and then he kind of bartered with his neighbors to put them up in their yards.
He was described as a benevolent dictator, affectionately.
What was his hope? What was the vision behind this? Was it just to kind of make a spectacle for people to see, or what was the idea?
He raised funds. He handed out candy canes and took cash donations to fundraise for Leukemia Lymphoma Society because he had lost his mother, Nan, to leukemia.
So this actually started not just as a holiday spectacle, but actually was a fundraiser that...
It's been a holiday, a neighborhood holiday display and fundraiser since the 1960s.
Wow, that's incredible. So help me understand how this works, the fundraiser part. How does the fundraising work?
Well, we
with
hand
all of
out
this?
the candy canes for free.
Okay.
And take voluntary cash donations.
Okay. So it's basically the people who come and take advantage of enjoying Crippsmas Place. They get candy canes, and then they get the opportunity of contributing to the fundraiser that is sponsored. Is that correct?
Right, and that's how we get most of the donations.
Okay.
We get some nice online donations too now, in case people are cash free.
Sure. And they can find that at the website?
Yes, at crippsmasplace.org.
Has that always been the organization that's received the funds from the fundraiser, or has that shifted over the years?
Right. When I took over in 2005, after the founder, Spider Cantley, and his wife moved to Twain Harte, I wasn't sure if we'd have enough neighbors to have the energy to hand out the candy canes.
Okay.
So I had the brainstorm that let's involve local charities that if they get the funds, they provide volunteers to hand out the candy canes. We were very simple the first year because we weren't an official nonprofit and we didn't have a checking account. So I'm like, okay, local charities, if you bring volunteers to hand out the candy canes for this night, all the cash donations you just take.
Wow.
A treasurer we had, Dave Richards, got us incorporated, and I didn't appreciate at the time how much work it is to get a nonprofit done. I should have thanked him more. So if he hears this, I hope he knows that I'm greatly appreciative. Yeah, and
that's great.
After a while he moved away. We've had different treasurers, but...
So you guys incorporated in 2008. You said it finally came around 2008. So all the way up until that time, the vision of this fundraiser was to help support this Leukemia Foundation. And then since then, you've been able to support other organizations and nonprofits along the way.
Yes, I focused on local nonprofits because it was very much a win-win situation where a dollar means more to one of our local nonprofits and helps our local community than some of the big organizations. We still reserve money that goes to the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, but other than that, we split up the money between the now 6 local charities that we support with the visitor funds.
That's awesome. That's great.
And we have a proper bank account with Fremont Bank now, who's also a sponsor.
Awesome.
And
that's
yes,
great.
so instead of handing the cash to a single charity at the end of the night, we collect all the funds over, tally them up, and then split them evenly between the local charities with a amount also reserved for Leukemia Lymphoma Society.
When things started to, like when he first started expressing his powers of that benevolent dictatorship, right?
Yeah.
At what point did the neighbors, do you feel like that was it just was like isolated to that one circle, and how long did it stay there, and how did it grow?
It just organically grew over the years. Before I took over in 2005, when I learned that it was a charity fundraiser, I was enthusiastic to participate at that point because it was meaningful to me. Mm-hmm. And that's why we have such a good level of participation, because it's meaningful and it's, giving to charity, which is motivating, and then it helps us develop more community.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I've been through Crippsmas Place in the past years with my family. We've always enjoyed going through and seeing everything. So if let's just say somebody has not yet experienced Crippsmas Place, what is the intended way for which it's supposed to be enjoyed? Like we drove through, but it sounds to me like a lot of people are walking through. I mean, they can't get candy canes really without like actually interaction. So what is that? Actually,
at the end of Wellington Place, we have volunteers who hand candy canes to both pedestrians and motorists.
Okay. And so these people who are manning these locations, these stations, are they there every night of the week, or is there certain times of the week that they're out there?
Right. Starting next Saturday, December 10th. There will be volunteers from 6 to 10 p.m. every night through December 28th.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
They have extended it past Christmas Day, which used to be our stop date. Now, we keep the decorations lit every evening through New Year's Eve.
Okay. So let's go back to the decorations, because you were saying that the founder had plywood cutouts. Okay, and I actually that's been one of the unique things for me as I've visited that I don't see in a lot of other places that decorate for the holidays. So tell me a little bit. Has the concept or the reality of these plywood cutouts, has this been kind of what makes Crippsmas a unique thing, or has that people have just carried on cutting things out with plywood?
We've had, I call the neighbors that create the plywood cutouts the Creative Works Department. Okay. And who that has been has varied over the years. Like for quite a number of years, it was the Arnold family who lived on Nicollet Court before they moved away, and they've made over about 150 of the decorations. Wow. They were like a factory, so we had a lot. And so we have a consistent way. We like them made so that they're easy to install, and that they last long, that they're painted properly. We have a couple of decorations that are very vintage. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So, and these decorations, from what I remember as well, they're not just Christmas specific. Like,
we take classic and contemporary cartoon characters and movie characters and try to, for the most part, get a holiday touch on them. Okay. But, get Santa hats or candy canes or ornaments or gifts, all that.
Give me an example of some of the characters that a person will see when they go through Crippsmas Place.
Besides all the classic Mickey Mouse ones and Disney characters, we have Scooby-Doo. We have the Star Wars. Yep. Darth Vader has his candy cane striped lightsaber. We had to create that one because the original version got stolen.
Really? The
just disappeared
lightsaber?
Off a lawn. The 6 foot the 6 foot
Darth
tall
Vader?
Darth Vader decorated plywood just disappeared off a lawn. Wow. It's like, wow, that's a hardcore. They tried to make sure to make it a little more holiday touch, and I guess there wasn't anyone as crazy as the first person. So we've had Darth Vader ever since, and he's got his 2 stormtroopers next to him in ugly Christmas sweaters.
Okay, that's awesome. Very cool. Well, speaking of Christmas sweaters, I'm actually wearing an ugly Christmas sweater from Pie Dreams, which we've interviewed in one of our first episodes. Here, Ricky, the owner of Pie Dreams, has made these holiday sweaters, which I've loved, so I got my copy. But you're wearing a sweater that says Happy Christmanica.
Yes, Happy Christmas.
So
made for me, handmade by one of my niece.
And it's got the Star of David on the top of the Christmas tree. So tell me a little bit about that, because Christmas, obviously, and Hanukkah they're both holidays around the same time, but they're different. So tell me, why are you wearing Happy Christmas?
Well, my family, my heritage is Jewish.
Okay.
So we like to include everyone.
Okay.
So we rather embrace the secular, inclusive version of the holidays. Mm-hmm. It's really fun in my neighborhood because a lot of the newer neighbors are from India. So we have icicle lights and beautiful lights up, starting with Diwali. So I love that.
Okay.
And they're very enthusiastic.
Yeah.
And my co-president, my shadow co-president, he never took an official title, Lauren Wiseman. His family are Mormon.
Okay.
And we've just united over in being service to humanity. That's something that we have in common.
Okay.
And being inclusive.
That's great. So for you, is this something that, like, were you a decorator during the holidays before you became part of Crippsmas Place?
Nope.
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 So you were not a decorator. This is not something that you just did and decided to make it part of Crippsmas Place. This is something that is, you started decorating because of this
Exactly.
event. Okay.
Exactly, because I really embrace I like to describe the mission as community, charity, and childhood joy. It's really great to really know all my neighbors and to have them feel so much more comfortable with each other and see them talking with each other and find their skills and their artistry.
That's awesome.
You know, I'm not fussy about, I will never be the most fancy decorated house, but my husband did want a couple decorations made, and he wanted to have them made, and he's like usually Mr. Bah Humbug.
Okay.
And so we have, our two decorations now are the flying spaghetti monster with a Parmesan shaker that says Seasons Gratings, and an inside joke from the video game, the Untitled Goose Game, that has a no goose sign.
Wow.
And since that sparks joy for him, I'm like, okay, honey, that's what we'll have.
That's great. That's a great contribution. That's great. Well, you've embraced it quite a bit, because not only do you have the Happy Christmas sweater on, but you've got the Santa Claus earrings. Those are awesome.
They were from Corey Glass that used to be here in Niles before the Coreys, Wayne and Sue, retired and moved.
Wow, those are cool earrings. Like, they're legit, like, quality Santa hat earrings.
Yeah,
Very
made
cool.
out of nice glass. So
that's cool.
I wish I could have bought another pair. This one's chipped, but kind of represents the wear and tear.
Of life. Yeah.
We'll be right back with the rest of the conversation in just a moment.
As I've gone through Crippsmas Place in the past, you've had a big Dale Hardware plywood sign out there with all the others.
Yes, a plywood sponsored decoration.
Okay, and as you know, Dale Hardware is a sponsor of our podcast. You said that you were a shopper at Dale Hardware, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're frequent shoppers at Dale Hardware. We like the fact that it's part of the ACE hardware cooperative.
Okay.
We embrace cooperatives.
And what is it that you enjoy most about Dale Hardware?
That they have a lot of helpful employees that know what they're talking about. They've got good garden stuff, plywood and all sorts of
the stuff that's needed. Yeah.
Yeah, they're especially well tuned towards the local needs of people in Fremont, of these different neighborhoods and the type of houses. They know the parts that are needed.
Whenever I drop into Petrocelli Homes down in Niles, Jennifer Petrocelli always treats me with great respect. Jennifer and John Petrocelli have been in the housing market for a long time. They built homes, they've helped develop homes throughout the city of Fremont, and now they are selling and buying homes for people who are trying to make Fremont their place. I don't happen to be in a place in my life where I can buy or sell a home, but John and Jennifer Petrocelli treat me like family, and I know that if they do that for me, then I know that they'll do that for you as well. So if you're in the market for buying or selling your home, then why don't you drop by Petrocelli Homes on Niles Boulevard, where you too can make your housing dream come true. Now, back to our episode.
So how long have you lived in Fremont? Like, you've been a part of this for maybe going on a couple decades, almost coming up here. How long have you actually lived in Fremont?
since 1995.
Okay. And have you lived in the particular Crippsmas area that entire time?
We've lived in that same house.
Okay. Very cool. What do you enjoy about Fremont? What in Fremont has been free? You've enjoyed living in Fremont, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah.
What do you enjoy about Fremont the most?
I originally liked moving here because one of my brothers had, and I just felt it was so much less pretentious than Marin County and the peninsula. You know, since I had grown up in Marin County, I liked that it felt more down to earth, and it's just very family friendly and lots to do, athletic stuff to do, and nice parks, and
that's cool.
It's been really good, and we found it was good for our kids and.
That's awesome. Have you do you have some favorite places that you enjoy going, restaurants or just places around the community that you enjoy?
Well, right here at Devout Coffee, and then the Skillets across the street. Those are awesome places to visit, and we love the parks. We go hike and jog along the Alameda Creek Trail. Every Tuesday, my husband and I try to hike or bike, like in Garin Park, Mission Peak, Coyote Hills. That's Vargas, awesome. Those are all, we get some nature as well as a nice place to live.
How much have you raised in the past, and how much are you looking to raise? Like, what would be, like, as people come and participate in this event that you guys put so much time and effort and money into, making a beautiful display, how much have you raised in the past, and do you have a goal for what you want to raise this year?
Well, I think that's why some of the neighbors wanted to push for the extended schedule, is that it is motivating to see actual quantifiable numbers and raise more money, though we didn't worry that in 2020. It's like not going to happen. But since then, 2021, we had raised the most money ever, and other than 2020, we've increased the amount of funds we've raised every year.
That's
and
awesome.
We raise tens of thousands of dollars every year.
Oh, wow. That's great.
The exact amount, I think the treasurer, they want to be safe.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the thing that I love about this too is, so much of what you said is really a big part. It reflects a lot of what, my desire for the podcast is, and that is to bring people together from diverse backgrounds, different ideas of religion or politics or whatever that live within our community, and to bring
different
them
ethnic backgrounds. Yeah, absolutely.
To bring them together around a bigger idea that helps us to be able to grow as a community. And I think that it's great to see something like this that's been in existence for so long, since the 1960s, that has been inclusive, that's brought people together within a certain neighborhood and community, and being able to display not just display it for the rest of the community, but also to try to raise funds and to contribute to some of these greater causes, which I think is pretty great. I think that's a good reason why people ought to get out and be a part of this. It's really, really, I think it's a really great thing. You mentioned the website, and then so they can give online, or they can give.
There's a PayPal button on the website.
Okay, there's a PayPal button on the website. And if they wanted to know more about this, what are the best avenues for people to be connected with what you're doing and to know what's coming up?
Oh, I try to keep the website updated, which is www.crippsmasplace.org. We are an organization, nonprofit. And frankly, my email address and phone number are on there, and feel free to contact me that way.
Okay.
It's kind of amazing that if you have your contact information on a charity website, I really don't get any extra spam.
That's awesome.
Messages,
Good.
I think.
That's great.
Because they're probably afraid that I'll ask them for money.
Yeah. You turn the tables on them.
Yeah.
That's great. And you have a Facebook page as well, it looks like.
Yes.
I'm looking at this card that you brought. Let's see here.
Yes, we keep both Facebook and Instagram up. Other neighbors help with the publicity.
Okay, that's great. Well, I think this is awesome, and if you are interested in being a part of this experience, then It says over 70 decorated homes on 6 streets in North Fremont. That's pretty awesome. So starting on December 10th all the way through December 28th, you get the opportunity of contributing to this experience and helping to raise monies for several different charities. What a great thing for our community.
Yeah, so we encourage visitors to cruise around, see all the decorated homes, and then make sure you do get to the end of Wellington. Wellington Place is the longest and most awesomely fully decorated street of Crippsmas Place now. They really have this spirit. And the volunteers are all there handing out candy canes, and for five separate dates, Santa and Mrs. Claus will be there back this year.
Okay.
And we will sometimes there's music groups too.
That's awesome.
And so you'll hear the music and lights, and yeah, it's really fun at the end of Wellington Place.
That's great. Is there anything else that people should know about their visit?
It is a residence. We do have 2 bright red garbage cans at the end of Wellington Place. Please feel free to put candy cane wrappers and your garbage and coffee cups in there, not on the ground, because otherwise it's the neighbors who have to pick up. We're not an actual theme park like Disneyland where we've got a fleet of paid employees to come clean up.
Right.
So
yeah.
it would make the neighbors happier with
That's
that
great.
kind of respect. There are bathrooms at the nearby Brookvale Shopping Center.
Okay. Awesome. Very good. Well, thank you for sharing all of this with us. I'm excited to get out again this year myself. I hope people who listen to this find the opportunity to get out. One of the other things that I hope to do on the podcast, at least through our social media, is I want to try to find the best decorated homes throughout the city of Fremont, and Crippsmas Place will be at the top of my list. But I'd like to get a number of other places that are decorated throughout the city of Fremont during the holidays and be able to share those destinations so that you can experience other places as well. But you should not miss Crippsmas Place. So try to get out there if you can and support this great organization. Thank you so much, Kate, for being on the podcast, and I really hope that this year is a largely successful year for you guys.
We're excited. We think it's going to be probably the best one ever.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to get out and see it. I can't wait to see the cheese, the
flying spaghetti monster.
Flying spaghetti monster.
There is also some giant cupcakes someone made.
Okay.
On one lawn that, it's really inspired artistry by other neighbors, and it's fun. I'm like, oh, look what's going on there.
That's awesome. Well, we'll check those out as well. So, thank you for being on the podcast, and
thank you for having me.
We'll see you soon.
Yes.
This episode was hosted and produced by Ricky B. I'm Gary Williams. Andrew Cavett is the editor. Music is provided through soundstripe.com. You can find links to our social media and other content at thefremontpodcast.com. Be sure to subscribe wherever it is that you listen so you don't miss an episode. And if you're so inclined, leave a kind review so that others can find the podcast. Join us next week on the Fremont Podcast.
This is Muggins Media.